Now, welcome to another lightning response video where I got a ton of really good questions left on my previous video, even some non-Star Wars questions. But I'm going to get to this one and maybe some of the other ones in a future video. But I'm going to get to this one from Gray World, who asked, "Hey Thor, how would you make the concept of Gray Jedi actually work in a way in Star Wars that doesn't damage the source material, but still be allowed to be its own thing? Is the idea 150% impossible? I'd like to hear your answer." Okay, so first of all, the inherent problem with Gray Jedi, or the idea of sort of walking the line between the light and the dark and using both, which is one definition of Gray Jedi, another, and I don't think this is the one you're talking about, but there is another one that says a Gray Jedi is someone who, shall we say, has distanced themselves from the rest of the Order or from the Council, and they just do their own thing more or less. And actually, the High Republic has full on made this a thing and calls them way seekers, and maybe we'll talk about it in a future video. It is an interesting concept. Anyway, simply put, the inherent problem with Grey Jedi is that it is two completely different and conflicting ways of trying to accomplish the same thing, which is using the Force to achieve something. One, the light side, requires you to be disciplined and calm and to control your emotions while letting the Force flow through you, while the other, the dark side, tells you to let go and to use and embrace your emotions, especially the negative ones like hate and anger, to fuel you and to bend the Force to your own will. And so trying to use them in conjunction or at the same time is like trying to swim upstream and downstream at the same time. You're not getting anywhere fast, you're just basically treading water. Now, you could argue that a Grey Jedi wouldn't try to use both at the same time, that some situations would call for them to use the light side, and sometimes they would use the dark. That sometimes I want to tap into my anger, maybe to defeat a skilled opponent in lightsaber combat, while other times I want to remain calm in order to accomplish something completely different from a lightsaber combat. And in theory, this could work. This is, in a sense, a way to make Grey Jedi work. The problem is, in order to prevent yourself from falling to the dark side, and let's remember, it's the quick and easy path. It's easy to get angry and to lash out and to get what you want. And once you've done it that way, once you get what you want the easy way, it's very hard to want to do it the disciplined way ever again. Once you start down the dark path and get what you want with minimal effort, it's hard to come back to the light side and do things the hard way. It's basically like an addiction in that regard. It even goes back to what I was talking about in my previous video, that it's more rewarding to work for something than it is to have it just given to you. And if you're given stuff all the time, it's kind of hard to motivate yourself to ever go out and want to get something for yourself. I mean, what's the point of working for something if someone's just going to hand it to you, or if you can just take it with ease? That is the big difference between the dark side and the light side. Yes, there's a bit more to it than this, but basically, one requires a lot of hard work and again, discipline, and it is very fulfilling and rewarding, while the other requires you to just get angry and to react, and it always leaves you wanting more. It is never fulfilling. You always just have to have more and more, and that's the trap of the dark side. It never satiates you, you never get enough. And thus, if you are the hypothetical Grey Jedi, in order to use the dark side and to not fall to it, you're going to have to, well, you're going to have an incredible amount of discipline to keep yourself from going all in, from not just completely giving into your emotions and tapping into the dark side to the fullest and then falling. And if you're not going all in, if you're not just letting loose and letting the hate and anger flow in order to fuel you, then you're just what, dipping your toes into it to get some small degree of power from it? And so, why use the dark side at all if you're not getting more power from it than you would from the light side? I mean, that's the whole concept here, right? That sometimes you need the dark side because it can do things that the light can't. I assume that's the concept anyway. Even though, in theory, there's nothing you can accomplish with the dark side that you can't with the light, other than, sure, shooting lightning from your fingertips and doing some certain unnatural things. But in theory, unless you're going all in on the dark side, there's nothing you can do with it that you can't do with the light. And so basically here, if you're only getting partial benefits from using the dark side, and those benefits aren't any better than what you get from the light, because you're limiting yourself to prevent you from falling to the dark side, which is pretty much inevitable if you're going to use the dark side to the fullest, then why not just always use the light side instead? Especially if you've already mastered the discipline part, especially if you've already mastered the hard part of using the light side, which is, again, being able to manage your emotions when they threaten to control you. That is the hard part of the light, and that's what you would need to do in order to tap into the dark. You would need to be able to manage all those negative emotions in order to rein them back in before you go too far. So, why are you using them in the first place if you're that good with the light side? And if you say, well, a Jedi could learn to let themselves go and to use the dark side to the fullest or near fullest, as near as you could possibly get without falling, and then they could bring themselves back from the brink afterwards, well, as you asked about, then you're kind of damaging the lore, in my opinion. Because if that is the case, if that's something that a Jedi could potentially learn, you've just diminished the end of Return of the Jedi and the monumental achievement of Anakin to overcome the dark side and to come back to the light to save his son. It's just something he should have learned along the way, not a near impossible act that saves the galaxy. So, yes, in theory, Gray Jedi could work. You could learn how to use the dark side a little bit here and there because you have the discipline of the light side, but then you have to ask why even bother with it if you're not using it to the fullest and you're already pretty damn strong with the light. I know it's a cool concept, I know why people like it, and I know why people think this might be the right way because of the whole misconception about the balance between the dark and the light, but in theory, sure, you could do it, but there wouldn't be a reason to do it. All right, one more quick bonus question here, and it comes to us from Malone Battle Droid, who asked, hey Thor, could we get some more lore videos or lore question videos, especially with Legends? I really enjoy these types of videos, and it'd be nice to have more videos on the New Jedi Order and the Legacy eras of Star Wars. And sure, I would be happy to do videos like that. I've said before, one of the reasons I haven't delved more into the EU is because I feel like a lot of channels out there delve into the EU and have covered every little aspect of it a million times over, and I would want to offer a new insight to it if I possibly could. And so if you have questions that you think would be interesting to answer, I'm all for it. And yeah, I'll try to do some more lore videos about the EU from time to time. Furthermore, as much as this will always remain a Star Wars channel first and foremost, I am open to other questions as well. I think somebody asked me a Stargate question, and I enjoy Stargate. I guess it's coming back. I hadn't even heard about that. There are a lot of other things I am interested in. Star Wars just happens to be my number one. So if you have other questions that are in the same wheelhouse about different franchises, I'd be happy to discuss them. I'm here to talk about things people want to listen to and watch videos on, so if you have suggestions or ideas, well then leave them in the comments below, and if you like those suggestions and ideas from others, then do give them a thumbs up. That is the easiest way for me to know if this is something that more people would want to see or not. But either way, that is going to be all I got for you this time. Now it is your turn. Take to the comments below it. Tell me what you think about the Grey Jedi and my thoughts on them. Or ask questions or give suggestions for future videos. Best way to do that is to start your comment off with Hey Thor. I will then try to answer your question in a future video. But whatever the case may be, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.